gotta keep them separated.
All right, welcome back to the show, folks. That's right, you got the American Adversaries Drive Time Prime Time show where we try to separate fact from fiction, truth from lies, and myth from what? Reality. All right, as I said, welcome back to the show. 407-774-8255 is the number. Don't forget, at 6:30 after the news break, we will have the second episode of the second season of The Dumb and the Feckless, so you'll definitely want to stick around for that. We also have some tickets to give away. That's right, we have 2 pairs of tickets to give away to A Taste in the Park. This is the benefit for the Jewish Pavilion. Nancy Luton from the Pavilion on Friday talking about this event. It's coming up this Sunday at the Maitland Civic Center, 12 to 3 p.m. The tickets, if you want to buy them in advance, they're $15 each per person or $40 for a family of 4. The day of, that goes up $5 and $10 respectively, so it'd be $20 per person, $50 for a family of 4. Or if you want to call right now, and you are the 3rd and 4th callers, you will win a free pair of tickets to A Taste in the Park. So give us a call at 407-774-8255. We'll take the 3rd and 4th callers, and you'll be able to go this Sunday, that's this Sunday, to A Taste in the Park at the Maitland Civic Center. I believe it's over 60 food vendors are going to be there, folks. So you'll get your even if you have to pay for these tickets, you'll definitely get your money's worth. But of course, if you can go for free, you'll have a great afternoon, and they got a lot of stuff for children to do as well. It's a family affair. All right, so right now, 407-774-8255 if you'd like a pair of tickets to A Taste in the Park coming up this Sunday. All right, I want to talk just a couple of minutes here about something that Bill Gates said in an interview for The Atlantic. Of course, I'm talking about little Willie Gates. That's right. Yeah, Microsoft, Mr. Microsoft. The guy's worth now over, I believe, $70 billion. And of course, that's in a foundation. Yeah, that's all going to be given away. No, it's not going to be given away. What they do is they give away basically a little bit of the interest that they earn on that $70-something billion. And by the way, they have full control over it and pay themselves I'm talking about he and his wife and the other administrators, they pay themselves handsome sums to administer their money, which is still, literally speaking, their money. They did that for tax purposes more than anything else, to have these foundations. But to get back to him, of course, he has got many liberal causes, which is fine. It's his money. He earned it, and he did. He can spend it any way he wants. Got no problem with that. What I have a problem with is liberals telling us how to spend our money, okay? But that's beside the point for this particular conversation, because in this Atlantic interview, he said that the private sector is inept and that capitalism cannot save us from, quote-unquote, climate change. Well, obviously, I don't think anything can save us from a natural process that occurs whether or not we're on the planet or not, and occurs on other planets where we haven't even a remote chance of ever existing. Yeah, he's right about that, but that's not what he meant. What he meant is that the capitalist form of an economic distribution, if you will, is, without saying it, is the cause of quote-unquote climate change. And that the private sector being inept means, it can't get out of its own way to solve problems. Well, of course, that is contrary to the man's own experience, right? Was he being inept when he designed the software that we now know as the software giant Microsoft? Was that ineptitude? That wasn't government. That was the private sector. He was a member of the private sector. The private sector and capitalism made him today. But to get back to his point of saving things, what he's saying is that there is no motivation, if you will, in capitalism, in the private sector, to come up with the solutions that we need to deal with the problems of climate change. We're dragging their feet. If it weren't for the government, we wouldn't have solar power. We wouldn't have wind power. We wouldn't have biofuels. Even though all of these things are pie in the sky, they're illusion. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to produce these things. They're totally unreliable. One of the biggest solar plants in the country, the Ivanpah plant in the Mojave Desert in California, produces some of the largest amounts of carbon pollution in the state. And do you want to know why a solar plant produces so much carbon pollution? Because it is so unreliable, they have to have a natural gas plant right there to fire up to produce the electricity, because the solar power can't be produced at night or when there's a cloudy or rainy day. This is just total waste and idiocy. If there's any ineptitude here, it is on the part of the government. And there's a great article, and I'll follow up on this after our episode of The Dumb and the Feckless, but it was in last week's Wall Street Journal. And, well, I see I don't have it here with me, I don't think, but I'll work from memory. Basically, what the article is about the progress of technology and how technology evolves at its own rate. And human beings can't seem to speed it up, nor can human beings seem to slow it down. Human beings are a part of the process, but the technology is sort of evolving on its own. Just think of the light bulb. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, right? Well, if Thomas Edison had never been alive, would we have light bulbs? Do you know that there were some 21 other people working on inventing the light bulb? Of course we'd have light bulbs. Of course we'd have Microsoft, even if it weren't Bill Gates who got the $74 billion for doing it. 5.5 and AM.